and welcome to Wycombe High's Sixth Form Exploration Live. My name is Evie, I'm the head girl here at Wycombe High and I'll be your host for this evening, one of the most important nights of the school year. Thank you so much for joining us. Tonight is all about giving you, the students and your parents watching at home an overall guide to the amazing Sixth Form experience here and help you to discover the many reasons why Wycombe High could be the perfect choice for you. And who better to tell you what it's like here in our Sixth Form and help answer your questions later than a couple of my fellow students, Martha and Per. Welcome both. Please introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Peher. I'm in Year 13 and I'm doing biology, chemistry, physics and maths for A-level.
Hi, I'm Martha. I'm also in Year 13 and I'm studying history, maths and physics.
Brilliant. Martha, in a nutshell, what is Sixth Form life like here at Wycombe High?
I would have to say that it's really busy, but in a good way. Like, it's always very lively and there's so much to do and so much to get involved with, which is something that I really enjoy personally.
Thank you. And Peher, what would you say to a Year 11 student thinking of studying A-levels here?
I would say the teachers are incredibly supportive. If you have any questions or queries about the A-levels that you're doing or anything else, you can always go to them. They really know what they're doing and they will get you the grades that you want.
Thank you so much. Also on our panel to answer your questions tonight are two of the senior staff at Wycombe High, Head Teacher Sharon Cromie and Head of Sixth Form Sarah Ellis. We'll be talking to them a little later, and if you have any questions for our panel, please ask away. All you have to do is click the Q&A icon, which is usually at the bottom of your screen, submit your question and we will endeavour to answer all of you a little later. Now, this evening, we're also going to take you behind the classroom door to give you a flavour of the 24 A-level courses on offer here at Wycombe High. And let's start our mini tour with two extremely popular courses, physics and maths. These, of course, are both STEM subjects for which we have a terrific track record. And I think it's fair to say that we are more than a little bit proud that so many students want to enrol on the STEM courses on offer here at Wycombe High.
My name is Lucas.
Hi, I'm Holly.
And here at Wycombe High we pride ourselves on the teaching of STEM subjects.
Like, for example, this Year 12 physics class, who today are learning about unstable nuclei with real radioactive sources.
Okay, we're going to have a look at some radioactive sources then, so we can look at the alpha, beta and gamma that we talked about earlier. So I've got radium first, and radium is a source of alpha and beta. So what about you?
Physics at Wycombe High School is exciting because we get to study everything from the very small in the world of quantum to the very large in space. Wycombe High School physics is different because it's a lovely, inclusive environment and we have a set of dynamic and enthusiastic teachers that really drive the subject forward.
So why did you choose to study physics at A-level?
Because it is incredibly awesome.
What are you most looking forward to studying in physics?
Most looking forward to studying quantum science because that's something I haven't actually learnt before and it seems very interesting.
So does physics work well with any of your other A-level subjects?
Well, I'm doing maths and product design, so I think they do go well because they are both like kind of STEM-y and using equations and stuff.
In what way will physics benefit you after leaving Wycombe High?
I'm hoping to study physics or engineering at university.
Is gamma dangerous to you?
Hi, my name's Ria. And my name is Judith. And today we're in A-Level Maths, where we're going to learn about graphs, polynomials and their application.
Okay, so this morning at 12 we are going to be looking at polynomial graphs. We're going to be building on the knowledge you have from GCSE, looking at quadratic and cubic graphs, and now building in quartics.
What aspects of mathematics do you most enjoy and why?
Well, I did maths at GCSE and I enjoyed it. And I decided to take it for A-level. Maybe my favourite topics are coordinate geometry and algebra, but I'm really enjoying it all.
How does maths help with the other subjects you're studying at A-level?
Well, my other subjects are psychology and biology, and maths has lots of transferable skills between these subjects, and also maths is integrated into the spec of both biology and psychology.
How will Maths A-Level help with your future plans?
Well, I want to do mechanical engineering at university, so maths and physics A-Level are really the perfect choice for me.
Here at Wycombe High School, the maths curriculum is designed to build on student prior knowledge with stimulating and engaging content to help support students with their studies, both here at Wycombe High School and beyond. We cover topics in depth which look at real-life applications, allowing our students to see the importance of mathematics in the modern world.
I saw the sign, and it opened I'm happy now living without you. I've left you all alone. I saw the sign and it opened up my eyes. I saw the sign. I saw the sign.
And we'll be going behind more classroom doors for a sneak peek at some other subjects later. And just to let you know, you can watch short introductory videos of all 24 A-level subjects on offer here at Wycombe High on the sixth form page of our website, wycombehighschool.com, where you can also read and download our A to Z subject guide with more details about all our A-level courses, as well as the online version of our sixth form brochure. Hard copies are available on request. And if you are a student at another school and you want to apply to study A-levels here, our website is also where you'll find an online application form. The website is nice and easy to remember. It's simply wycombehighschool.com. Beher, you're studying physics, maths, biology and chemistry. How have you found these courses, all STEM subjects, and the way that they're taught here at Wycombe High?
Yeah, so all science subjects, and I just think I really enjoy all of the subjects. Compared to GCSE, the depth that we go into is just, it's literally, you can't even compare them. You go into so much more depth, and I really enjoy just learning about the natural world and just seeing how everything essentially works. They all link together really well as well. So we have, like, for example, physics and chemistry, we have topics that kind of coincide. And I really like that because I can see things from a different perspective. I really enjoy that. I think they're taught in an excellent way at Wycombe High. They all have different ways of teaching, and I think that's really required because they all have different skills that you need. And I think that Wycombe High does it in a really good way, really effective.
Brilliant. And Martha, you're studying history, physics and maths. If you had to single out one thing about your experience studying A-level here, what would it be?
Just that it's really fun and everyone's really excited to be learning about their courses. Everyone's really passionate about their subjects, which is something that I really like about our school. There's also lots of opportunities to go further, like deeper within your subjects that might not necessarily be on your course, which is something that I also find really fun.
Thank you so much. Now, as you can probably tell from what you've heard already, the students and teachers alike are extremely proud of the engaging sixth form experience on offer at Wycombe High. And this evening we want to give you as much information as possible and for you to have your chance to ask absolutely any questions you may have. You can do so by using the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. We'll be taking your questions a little later on, so if you have one, please get typing. But first, I have a few of my own to get the ball rolling, and I'm going to ask them to our head teacher, Mrs. Sharon Cromie.
Hello, Evie. You're doing a great job, and can I say well done to Beher and Martha too. Superb.
Thank you so much. So we'll start with, what would you like to say to Year 11 students watching tonight about our A-level courses? I know it's hard, but could you give us an overview of the 24 subjects on offer?
Oh, that's a tough question to start with, Evie. But I think the first thing to say is that having a choice of 24 different A-level subjects is in itself something to celebrate. That's a really broad choice. And it covers so many different subjects. So it covers all the STEM subjects, so the sciences, technology, mathematics, 3 different types of mathematics actually, but also covers the performing and visual arts, the humanities, modern and ancient languages, so many different things, classical civilization, so that there's also specialism within history at Wycombe High School, psychology and the social sciences, lots doing economics and business studies. There is literally something for everyone.
Brilliant, thank you so much, and I would definitely have to agree. When it comes to the sixth form experience, what in particular do you think sets Wycombe High School apart?
Gosh, that's a great question. And often when people are asked what's the thing that sets anything apart, people look for a unique selling point or one thing. And actually, it's really hard to find one thing that sets Wycombe High School apart because we care about everything and we put a lot of time and energy into making sure it's the best possible sixth form experience possible. We really want our students to be able to fly on to the next stage, whether that's university, apprenticeship or employment. However, I would say that how we make our students feel as well as the fantastically brilliant qualifications they get, is really, really important. And I know they tell me often that they feel they can go on to do anything they want after Wycombe High School sixth form, and that makes me feel so proud and very emotional, actually, because that's really what I want for young women. I want them to be able to choose to do whatever they want to do, and I think that probably is exactly what we do.
Brilliant, thank you so much.
Yes, sorry, I was just going to say as well, Evie, I told you I can talk a lot, that that's not just about the academics and those 24 subjects, it's all the other things that go around and the school experience. So, for example, we've got 140 clubs and societies on offer at the minute.
Brilliant. I'm really glad you mentioned extracurricular activities, because that's something I have particularly enjoyed at Wycombe High. But there's so much on offer, it's hard to keep count.
Yeah, it is. And it started off, I think, in September, end of September of this academic year. We had around 80 clubs and societies. By early October, that had grown to 100. And as of today, it's 140. And it keeps growing because our wonderful sixth formers keep identifying new opportunities for societies they want to lead. So whether it's MedSoc or ChemSoc or Maths Club or Philosophy Club, as well as all the sports, the music, the drama productions, it's really incredible. And I think we're getting ready for Panto season soon as well.
Brilliant, thank you. Mrs. Cromie, for now, I'm going to thank you again for your time, and I'm sure we'll see you again later on to answer some of the Q&A questions.
Thank you, Evie. It's been a pleasure.
Now, I have to say, when I was asked to present this live event, I was somewhat nervous, as you can imagine. It's not something I've done before, but the great thing about being a student here is that you get to join the wonderful network of Wycombe High alumni for life. So when I wanted to get a few presenting tips, all I had to do was ask, and help was at hand in the form of TV and radio news presenter Rachel Burden, herself a former student here at Wycombe High. Here's the advice she gave me. Just want to thank you, Rachel, for taking the time out of your day to come and give me tips from the top. So thank you so much for taking your time.
It's an absolute pleasure. I'm really happy to help.
So if I could start by asking you, when you were a student here at Wycombe High, did you know that you wanted to be a journalist or a news presenter? What inspired you to take this career path?
Do you know what? I didn't even know I wanted to do it until I was probably in my fourth year at university. So although news and current affairs had always interested me, and I loved radio and I had those passions, I didn't have a particular plan of action in my head at all. So when I was at school, I just did the subjects I loved with the teachers I loved. That was quite important to me, particularly when I chose my A-levels. And then I went to university and studied again, things I just really enjoyed studying. And it was only when I was getting to my final year that I thought, oh, heck, I better start thinking about how I'm going to repay my loans and getting a job and what next. And I suppose journalism had always been there in my mind. My dad was a journalist, so I was surrounded by broadcast media from when I was young. And I had this passion for radio in particular. That was what I really, really wanted to work on. So I applied for a postgraduate diploma in broadcast journalism in my final year, pretty much at university. And that then set me on the path to working, first of all, in local radio for a number of years, which I loved. It really taught me all the groundings of being a good journalist and a really very good understanding of what it is to make good radio. And then from there, things kind of just moved on and grafted away, and then started working for 5 Live back in 2003. And I've been here ever since.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much. I think I relate as well what you're saying about your favourite subjects. That was definitely the biggest factor when I was choosing my A-levels. Choosing the subjects I love most and the teachers I love most as well is a really big factor. I
think it's really important to know that you shouldn't panic if you don't have a career path in mind. It's brilliant if you do, but I think love of learning is fundamental, particularly when you're going through your A-levels and then on to higher education.
Oh, definitely. So would you say that Wycombe High was a good springboard for a successful career as a reporter or presenter?
I mean, yeah, I think it would have to be. I'd have to say yes. It was great because it was a fantastic school for me academically. I think the culture and ethos when I was there, and I'm sure it's exactly the same now, was that there are no glass ceilings that can't be broken, that as a woman you can achieve anything you want to achieve. We were instilled with this sense of self-belief. So yeah, it didn't even occur to me that if I set my mind to something, that, you know, assuming I worked hard and had a degree of talent, that I wouldn't go and do it. So I think it definitely gives you, first of all, a brilliant academic grounding, and second of all, as I say, that sort of sense of self-belief and ambition, I guess. And we shouldn't be afraid of using that word, should we, at all? And also, to be honest, I had such a great community of friends at Wycombe High who I still am in touch with now and still go and have weekends away together. All the girls I met when I was in, was it second year then? So what would it be, year 8 now? Yeah. I'm still really, really good friends with. So I suppose as well, it allowed me to feel really secure in myself, because you could work hard, you could study hard, but you could also play hard as well. And so I began to develop that kind of balance in my life when I was at Wycombe High. Sometimes it gets a bit imbalanced and it's a bit one way or the other. But overall, I think all those facets really help you on your way to achieving what you want to.
So I'm about to present my first ever live TV show. So what advice or tips could you give me?
Well, first of all, I think you're brilliant anyway, because you've got a lovely natural manner. It's such a cliche, but you have to just be yourself. Try not to imagine that you're reciting words to an audience. You're really just talking to people like you and I are talking now. It's nothing more than that. Often people say, imagine there's just one person listening, sitting in a comfy chair, just you and them, and you're chatting away to them. So I think a degree of warmth and informality like that, and yeah, not being sort of in any way overwhelmed, because ultimately it's just you telling people what you know more than them. You're the expert actually on this occasion, aren't you? So I think you can entirely relax and enjoy it.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much. So thank you for this interview and giving me a few pointers. I hope I live up to expectations. And we hope to see you back at Wycombe High School soon.
Let's hope so. I shall be at home taking notes and giving you feedback. But you'll have a great time, Evie. Good luck.
Thank you so much. She was great, one of the many, many successful women who are former students and terrific role models for all of us here at Wycombe High. Time now for another stop on our whistle-stop tour of the school, as this time we take you behind the classroom door of our technology and science departments.
Welcome to A-Level Product Design at Wycombe High. Come on in and see what we do.
Send me your location, let's focus on communicating, cause I just need the time and place to come through. Send me your location, let's ride.
Wycombe High, we're passionate about design technology. A-Level Product Design is a very successful subject, and we have a fully dedicated workshop with an engineering lathe, a hearth and other different types of machines that you'll be able to use.
This is new to you initially. I didn't want to fall, but you gathered my attention, it was all for you. So don't take advantage, don't leave my heart damaged. To understand that things go a little bit better when you plan it. Oh, so won't you send me your location?
I'm just adding a texture to my part of my engineering project.
Your location, let's ride the vibrations I don't need.
I'm just testing a new wood joint using the mortise and tenon machine for my A-level project.
So let's get personal. I got a lot of cool spots that we can go. Tell me what's the move and I got you. I'm only acting like this cause I like you.
Hi, I'm Maddie. And I'm Sanu, and we're going to join a Year 12 class. They're currently in the process of making their cafe models.
Today we're going to learn how to use metal manufacturing processes to create table legs for your cafes. I'm just going to give you a little demonstration on the donkey saw.
Send me your location, let's ride the vibrations.
Our CAD/CAM suite enables students to practice 3D printing, laser cutting, sublimation printing, and vinyl sticker design. In addition to that, we have a dedicated design studio for A-level product design students where you can practice marker rendering pens, modelling techniques, and improve your design presentation.
So how does product design link with your A-levels?
I'm taking maths and French in addition to product design, so I think maths will really help me with the mathematical element of the theory, as well as the design and making, which I enjoy.
So why did you choose product design?
So after GCSE, I found the 3D printing and the CAD side of it very interesting, and I thought I would like to study industrial design at uni.
Our A-level product design students are allowed to experiment with diverse cultural influences in their projects and enable them to experiment and get themselves ready for higher education. We have an excellent career path of students going on to study engineering, architecture and interior design, amongst other design subjects at university. So come on down to Wycombe High and try product design A-level.
Hi, I'm Alexia.
And I'm Disha.
And we're in A-level chemistry.
And today, Year 12 are learning about acids and bases.
Chemistry A-level at Wycombe High School is a really challenging course, but it's a fascinating subject and the students get a lot out of it. The rewards when they actually conquer the difficult problems really make them feel very proud, and we feel proud of them. It's a very topical subject because the chemistry that we study looks at climate change and pollution and the effects on the environment. So it's very in the news at the moment, and it's a hugely applicable course for their future aims.
So what aspects of Chemistry A-level are you most excited about?
I'm super excited for the practical element because it's really interesting to see how the knowledge I've actually learned in class is actually applied. What made you select chemistry at Wycombe High School?
Well, I chose it at A-level because I really wanted to pursue my passion. Because at GCSE I really enjoyed chemistry and I felt that it was my favourite subject. I was looking forward to going to every single lesson, and I think that's mainly due to the fact that our teachers, especially in the chemistry department, made that experience of that lesson so memorable for me, especially in Year 11. And Year 12 I'm enjoying it so much.
So what overlap are you discovering between the skills you use in chemistry and your other subjects?
I think that the overlap with maths and chemistry is that for both of you follow a set group of instructions to get to your final answer, and when you get there it's really satisfying in both, and they're both quite difficult subjects.
In biology, I realised that you study the chemical reactions that happen inside organisms, and you learn about the molecular makeup of organisms. So I've noticed that that was an overlap between chemistry and biology. Yeah.
What are you hoping to use your chemistry for in the future?
So I'm interested in studying archaeology at university, and although there are no set subjects for archaeology, it's highly recommended that you do a science, and of the sciences, chemistry is my favourite, particularly as I have an interest in the more scientific side of archaeology, so forensic analysis of soil and things like that. It's really useful to have chemistry as an A-level.
To remind you, you can watch short introductory videos of all 23 A-level subjects on offer here at Wycombe High on the sixth form page of our website, wycombehighschool.com, where you can also read and download our A to Z subject guide with more details about all our A-level courses, as well as the online version of our sixth form brochure. Hard copies are available on request. And if you are a student at another school and you want to apply to study A-levels here, our website is also where you'll find an online application form. Again, you'll find the form on the sixth form page of our website. It's wycombehighschool.com. Joining us now is our head of sixth form, Mrs. Sarah Ellis. Mrs. Ellis, welcome.
Good evening, Evie.
So can I start by asking you the same question I asked Mrs. Cromie earlier, which is, when it comes to the overall sixth form experience, what in particular do you think sets Wycombe High School apart?
Well, I'm really proud of Wycombe High School and obviously the sixth form. I kind of wish that I'd had the opportunity to come here myself. I I think one of the things that we're really, really focused on and what sets us apart is not just chasing excellence, but also the way in which we invest in students as young people and as individuals. I don't think there's a typical Wycombe High School sixth former, and we don't really want to create one either. What we really want students to do is feel empowered and driven by what they want to do and to be themselves and to follow their dreams and their aspirations. You know, I do believe there is a place for everyone in this world, and it's our role to try and make sure that students can find that role and find their own success, be responsible for their own learning, and to manage their own experience, really. So our focus is very much on independence and resilience, and enabling students to be the very best version of themselves.
Perfect, thank you so much. So my next question is, can you also tell us a little bit more about the kind of support for students that's in place at Wycombe High, both academically and pastorally, particularly for sixth formers?
Well, as students move into the sixth form, academic welfare and pastoral welfare become much more intrinsically linked, and that's the nature of the way in which students study and what they're studying. So we find that actually care becomes much more under the umbrella of the head of year. So your head of year will undertake both academic and pastoral mentoring with students. We have about 360 students within the sixth form, so it's a big sixth form, and we also have a very comprehensive team. Each student will have a head of year. So students in year 11 already know Mr. Garrett Chapman, and he works with students in that transition through from GCSE into A level. We also have a head of year 13, which is Mrs. Robinson. There's myself, who oversees the sixth form both strategically and on a day-to-day basis. But one of the key things that we have is Mrs. Windsor, who is our sixth form student manager, and she's really the sort of first face for sixth form for both students and parents. So we have a really comprehensive team. We have a wealth of experience of dealing with a range of different issues and concerns. We're all very experienced. We have an open door policy, so students can come and see us at any time. And again, that comes back to our idea of independence. We really want students to talk with us and to nip problems in the bud as soon as they arise. But sometimes it's not always possible for us to do that, and we do have close links with a team of counsellors and our mental health lead within school. We have access to the school nurse, and at times we have need to contact external agencies, and we work in close partnership with them to support our students. I think the other thing that's really key is our leadership group have a wealth of experience and expertise. They all teach, and they are all involved in different aspects of sixth form life and helping students with study skills, examination technique, and so on. So the support is really extensive, and that's not even talking about subject teachers and tutors who are on hand to help students all day, every day.
And for everyone watching at home who's going to apply, what's the procedure? Like, how do they go about it?
So many of the people watching will be students who are already at Wycombe High School, so the procedure is very, very simple. All you need to do is to complete the option form that Mr. Garrett Chapman has sent you with the subjects that you would like to study, and that is due in by the 14th of January. Students who wish to join us from other schools at slightly longer deadline, which is the 27th of January, they will need to complete an online application form, which is on our website. And we also ask that they write a letter of application to me, just to tell me a little bit about themselves, why they want to apply to Wycombe High School, why they want to study the options that they've chosen, and also a little bit about them as well, which really helps us when we move forward and start to put students into tutor groups and to allocate buddies and so on with them. It just enables us to know a little bit more about the student. So all that information is on our website. Students who also would like to join us from other schools, we do have tours in November, and students can come along and see firsthand what the sixth form is like.
Perfect, thank you. And finally, can I ask you a bit about what happens next for Wycombe High School students? Beyond their sixth form experience, where do they end up and what do they do?
Well, this is the thing that always I find really, really interesting. We have really close contacts with our alumni and ex-students, and it's always really great to look at the amazing things that they're going on to do and the really diverse futures that many of our students follow. Students follow very different pathways. Some students now are turning to degree apprenticeships or work-based apprenticeships. Some students want to go into employment, but the majority of our students actually go to university. This year we had 91% of our students going to university University, and the majority of those going to the top research universities as well. So we do have Wycombe High School students at almost all the top universities studying various different courses and pathways. And those choices are incredible when you look through them. We have students studying medicine, they go on to biomedical science, they might study pure maths or physics or astrophysics. But equally, we've got students studying paramedic science. More students are considering nursing and midwifery. And we also had quite an increase in the last few years of students studying engineering courses. So that's not just civil and mechanical engineering. We've got students doing automotive, aerospace engineering and nuclear engineering. So STEM is a real focus within the school. We have a lot of students as well who choose humanities subjects, history, geography, English and so on. But equally, events like Brexit has really kind of given students a real global perspective, and we have many students who go on to study politics and international relations and international development and so on. But I think for me, what's really interesting is our students go everywhere and they do everything. And you know, as an art teacher, I'm always incredibly proud of the students who go on to study visual and performing arts, because it's really, really important that as a generation, students are supporting those areas. And, you know, we really like to feel that there is something for everybody, and that we're encouraging students to really follow their niche, their pathway and their passions. And that's integral to everything that we do.
Brilliant, thank you so much. That's all my questions for now, so I'm sure we'll hear more from you a little bit later when we answer our Q&A session.
Thank you very much, Evie.
In just a few moments, we'll be taking your questions from home. I can see there's quite a few already coming in. Please keep them coming by typing your questions using the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. Now, let's have our final look behind the classroom door at two more subjects, art and music.
Hi, I'm Charlotte.
Hi, I'm Ella.
Today we're in A-level art. We're currently working on our observational drawings.
For our personal investigation for our final exams.
In the art department, we have 4 specialist teachers with their own expertise within a range of disciplines, from ceramics to printmaking to painting and even textiles. We have a range of facilities to cater for all of those and manage to produce work at a high level, given the wide range of facilities that we actually have. Art is widely enjoyed by students and take up is high at exam level, which means that we have a range of students offering their own interests and their own developing expertise, which forms a good relationship between the skills that we can offer as teachers and the contributions and input that we get from students.
So what do you enjoy most about art?
Well, I did GCSE art and I really enjoyed it, and now I'm doing A-level and I enjoy it even more. I particularly love how we can lead our own personal investigations, and I've been looking at the political meanings behind paintings because I find these so interesting.
So how does art link with the other subjects that you're studying?
My other A-level subject is psychology, and for psychology we've been recently studying about phobias. I decided to express one of the phobias through the medium of art, which was claustrophobia. And I believe that these two subjects, psychology and art, combine really well together.
How will art benefit your future?
Well, everything I'm doing right now in my project is catered towards my love of fashion, which is what I want to pursue in the future. So after this, I'm going to go on to do an art foundation year, and then after that, hopefully go on to uni and study fashion or something to do with art and design.
I strongly believe that art is a tool for effective communication and gives students the opportunity to express their opinions in a safe setting, opening up a constructive dialogue between the viewer and the maker. Often subjects that are taken at other A-levels feed into the work that students do in A-level art and produces some work that has some brilliant conceptual underpinnings and some really strong ideas, as well as having work that's aesthetically pleasing and sometimes not. You don't have to be a great artist to be a great artist. You don't have to be technically brilliant and really good at drawing. If you're innovative, if you're inventive and you have interesting ideas, then you can be a great artist. We can find a way to communicate the work that you want to do. Art makes for a well-rounded, highly disciplined and self-motivated student who can transfer those skills learnt in art in many ways. And having an art A-level is something that is highly respected among various universities in the application process. I'm extremely proud of the practice of both students and staff in the department. Us as teachers are passionate about our subjects and our enthusiasm permeates through our teaching in lessons and also in our clubs and beyond. Art is a really important part of Wycombe High School, and students contribute to that high profile in so many ways.
I'm in the music block and today we are working on our composition. What made you choose A-level music here at Wycombe High?
I really loved the GCSE and I thought the facilities here were great and there's so many extracurricular clubs to get involved with and I think music's going to be a part of my life forever.
Have you discovered any content that overlaps with your other A-level subjects?
Yes, actually, I take classics and maths and I've become really interested in ancient music. I'm actually basing my composition this year off an ancient theory by Pythagoras.
What set work has been your favourite and why?
My favourite set work to study has been Kate Bush because I love the way she combines pop music with other genres of music and I find it particularly inspiring to learn about because I'd like to be a pop musician when I leave school.
So the great thing about studying A-level music at Wycombe High is that we discover the music in so much more depth and we discover that their music is much more than entertainment. It's history, music is politics, music is philosophy even. There's always a great sense of community in the music block, there's loads of rehearsals going on and everybody feels like a big musical family, including the new students which join every single year.
As I said earlier, the purpose of Sixth Form Exploration Live is to give you as much information about Sixth Form life at Wycombe High School as possible. And beyond this evening, you can watch short introductory videos of all 23 A-level subjects on offer here at Wycombe High on the Sixth Form page of our website, wycombehighschool.com, where you can also read and download our A to Z subject guide with more details about all our A-level courses, as well as the online version of our Sixth Form brochure. Hard copies are available on request. And if you are a student at another school and you want to apply to study A-levels here, our website is also where you'll find an online application form. Just go to wycombehighschool.com. In just a few moments, I'll be handing over to our head teacher, Mrs. Cromie, to start our Q&A session, where you can ask all our panellists, well, pretty much whatever you like, really, about the Sixth Form experience here. First, though, a few tips from some of our students for when you become a Sixth Former here at Wycombe High.
I'm Swetha. And I'm Paige and we're in Year 12. Today we're going to be talking to our fellow Year 12 students about their Wycombe High School Sixth Form experience.
We're going to find out why they chose Wycombe High School Sixth Form, why it's so unique, and the advice I would give to prospective Wycombe High School Sixth Form students.
Why did you decide to come to Wycombe High School Sixth Form?
I chose Wycombe High Sixth Form with the extensive range of subjects offered and also the extracurricular activities on display, and also with a focus on single sex differs from my previous Sixth Form.
I chose Wycombe High Sixth Form because I stayed on from Year 11 and the transition from GCSE to A-level, it was really supportive, especially from the teachers. And I'm very familiar with the students and the teachers, and so there's a lot of good resources, and so I thought it'd just be best to stay on.
Well, Wycombe High Sixth Form offered a wide range of subjects which quite appealed to me. It's one of the only schools around here that offered philosophy and ethics, which was particularly something I was interested in.
They have a lot of extracurricular things that you can do, so
and a lot of societies. So I do debate society, and they have opportunities for you to do things outside of school as well. So there are competitions, and I go to politics society. There's lots of other things involved in music and sport and anything you want to do, really.
What would be your top tips for future Wycombe High Year 12s? I would say don't let yourself become overwhelmed with the new types of work. There's a lot that you need to keep up with. Don't let yourself get behind. Do the best that you can. For me, I do computer science, and I would definitely recommend, even if it's a subject you've never done it before, trying out new subjects for A-level, because they can be really interesting. I personally love computer science, and I do everything I can to keep on top of my work, even if it's a lot. So I would recommend that.
There's a lot of support at this school for reading beyond the specifications, so particularly just look beyond what we are supposed to be teaching and go for extra reading, go for extra resources which will be provided by your teachers.
So the A-levels I took were English, History and French. And my biggest tip for English would be annotate your book. It's so important. If you don't do it straight away, you're going to start falling behind, and that creates a bit of a downward spiral. Not good. For history, I would say organise your notes. Type them all up, make them look pretty, put them in a nice note file, but make sure they're organised, otherwise when you look back on it, it would be a bit pants. And I'd say for French, watch lots of French films with French subtitles on, because that means you see how grammar works out, as well as, learn to speak a bit quicker.
What makes Wycombe High School so unique?
Well, we have our own sixth form block, which you can see in the background. We have our own cafe and a new study space and lots of areas where you can do your work. And then we also have loads of outdoor space as well, which you can use for sport or socialising. Everyone can sit out here at lunch, and it's a really nice place to be.
I think one of the best things that makes Wycombe High so unique is that we get to wear our own clothes in sixth form, which is so cool. We get to express ourselves, and I love walking in every day because everyone looks so colourful and it's gorgeous. Another thing is that we have our own sixth form block, which is amazing. It's away from the main school, so it's a lot quieter. We have a little cafe, which makes me feel very grown up. And yeah, it's amazing. I'd really recommend coming here.
Hello, and thank you very much indeed, Evie, for that wonderful exploration of sixth form at Wycombe High School. And I loved hearing all the students talk about what they wanted to do post sixth form, looking beyond, and the range of subjects that they wanted to take part in was just fantastic. So thank you all very much indeed for joining us. We've all had lots of changes with seats and or in different positions, and we're now going to try and answer your questions, and I can see that quite a lot of those are coming in. We are joined by Miss Drysdale as well now, so she can contribute to the conversation. So between Miss Drysdale, Mrs. Ellis, myself, and importantly Evie and Peher from Year 13 who are with us, we hope to be able to answer all of your questions. And I'm going to go straight to Mrs. Ellis, because there is a question here about clarify the situation. Can you take 3 or 4 A-levels, particularly if one of those A-levels is further mathematics?
So students can study 4 A-levels if they get over 68 points in their best 8 GCSEs, which includes English and Maths. And obviously, if they meet the qualifying score for further Maths, they can take further Maths as well. I think what's really important is that students build a good combination of A-levels. We do recommend 3 and an enrichment subject, because that enables students to manage their workload. And often universities are only really asking for 3 A-levels. So to enable students to actually achieve the highest grades in 3 is obviously more beneficial to students than spreading themselves too thinly over 4. The benefit of further maths is obviously further maths can be studied at AS level. So students can take 3 A-levels plus study further maths to AS level. If they have qualified and got over 68 points and they're enjoying further maths, they can continue that as a full A-level as well into Year 13. But I think it's really important to remember that further maths isn't just an additional subject. Students can study further maths as a full A-level alongside maths and one other subject as well. So they can include that as part of their 3 A-level subject choices. So it's not just an additional subject as an enrichment, it's something that can be a full A-level. And obviously we do have several students that have taken that pathway and gone on to study maths at university or engineering or a similar sort of course.
Thank you, Mrs. Ellis. So in a nutshell, very, very flexible at every stage. And still staying with Mrs. Ellis, but hoping that Evie and Bahar are going to contribute as well. Someone said, what support do you get for preparing for university applications and for UCAS? So I don't know, Evie and Bahar, do you want to start off by saying something about that? That's probably very current for you at the moment.
Of course, definitely very current. I know there's so much support in this sixth form.
Yeah.
The amount of times this week and last week I was just knock on Mrs. Ellis's door and be like, "Could you help me, please?" It's brilliant. The support system is awesome. Like whatever you want to do, if you want to do early entry, just normal entry, medicine. I know Bahar's doing that. For me, it's brilliant. And from my experience, I couldn't think of more support they could give.
Yeah, and we get so many like webinars from external universities and like specialized people from those universities specifically talking to us about specifically sometimes the course that you want to go into. So it's really good. So I want to do medicine, and obviously that's early entry, and there's been so much support obviously because it's such a hard degree to get into, and we've had webinars, sessions on it. So yeah, I feel like we were really prepared to go into this year.
Great.
I mean, we do start quite early, so we start the whole process in the spring term of year 12. But having said that, yesterday we did have a talk with the students hoping to do medicine, both from year 11 and year 12, to prepare them for those courses and getting them ahead in terms of work experience and so on. So we start the process in the spring term. We build gradually. We encourage students to really make sure their applications are as high profile and successful as they can be by really making them high quality. And we do invite plenty of people in. We work with our alumni to come and talk with our students themselves. We have visits in from local universities and universities further afield. We have a range of different resources, so everybody's needs are catered for.
Yes, indeed. And increasingly, we're seeing some of our students want to study in the United States, and we're catering for that. And Miss Drysdale's here, and she supports the early entry, but also the Oxbridge. Do you want to say a few words about that, Miss Drysdale?
Absolutely, and I also have a careers leader role within the school, and Mrs. Ellis and I work together very closely to make sure the things we're doing in our careers programme tallies up with what she's doing in the sixth form. And we're not done with the medical applicants yet, so Claire has other things to look forward to with a multi-million interview practice. She'll be able to have a mock interview with a doctor. The same for our Oxbridge candidates, they'll be getting mock interviews, so that'll be coming down the pipeline shortly. But for all these students, and whether it's a conservatoire or cordon bleu cookery, apprenticeships, whichever pathway we're going, there's always support there for them in all sorts of ways. And we're very lucky to actually have a full-time careers advisor on site as well. Not every school has that. So there's so many people the students can go to.
Yes, indeed. So it's very exciting to hear about their future choices as well. So there's a few questions here. Miss Drysdale, if I stick with you for a few moments, someone's asked, is it possible to request a specific teacher for subjects?
As a previous timetabler, I will tell you that timetabling is a bit like 11-dimensional chess. So because you need to fit everything in together, it's not possible to request a specific teacher. Quite often the subjects are taught by two teachers as well at A level, which will be different potentially to what you've had at GCSE. So no, that just isn't feasible as we try and slot every little piece together when we're building the timetable.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, indeed. And I can see a question there about being able to do textiles at A level, and that can be done as part of art, and that's the way we manage it. So we're proud of 23 A levels. It's difficult to offer absolutely everything, because uptake and numbers can be quite small, but we do have a very wide breadth, and textiles absolutely can be catered for within art. So some other questions here. I'll take one about average class size. It varies according to what subject it is. You might have 20 students or so in a politics class. You might have 8 in a music class or a classics class at A level, and it varies from year to year, so it's not a set thing either. So Evie and Per, do you want to comment on how many people in your classes?
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head with that one. My politics class is my biggest class with about 20, just over 20 people. But then my drama class is 11 people max, but it's brilliant. Like politics is great for debate, but then having a small class for drama is brilliant to get individual feedback, and it really benefits having different class sizes at A level. It's really helped me, I think.
And even biology and chemistry, they're really subscribed. A lot of people go to do those subjects, but the classes are actually quite small. So like my biology class is only like 17 people. So you still get that individualized approach, even though there might be a lot of people doing the same subject as you.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much indeed. And there's a question here about enrichment subjects. So Mr. Drysdale, would you like to say something about that?
Absolutely. So we have multiple enrichment options available, and I'm just going to look to the side so I get the list absolutely right, because I'm just having a look at our list of them. So we have the extended project qualification, which is a level 3 qualification. It gets half the UCAS points A level would do. Universities really like that. It develops independent study skills. We have the Duke of Edinburgh Award. We have Arts Award Gold. Core Maths, which is another level 3 qualification, and someone else is asking about that later on. Further Maths for AS, and Young Enterprise as well, which is where students develop their own business. It's really great for entrepreneurship, showing those sorts of things. There's all sorts of roles you can take on with those. So those are our different options. And some people are asking about the number of enrichment options that we would suggest. With 3 A levels, certainly one enrichment option is what we would suggest, and those with 4, we do have the option, but I'm going to hand that over to Evie and Per, because how's that work for you with doing enrichments? Which ones did you do? How's that work with your balance of sort of time and all the rest of
it? Yeah, okay, I'll go first. So I did EPQ and I did 4 A levels. I would say it's going to be difficult. I mean, obviously doing 4 A levels by itself is difficult. I knew that going in. I was not naive about it. And like Miss Ellis, I actually had a conversation with Miss Ellis before I went in, and she informed me about everything. So yeah, I would say doing 4 A levels with EPQ was definitely difficult, but it was just managing time, making sure I don't get overwhelmed. And yeah, I really am so grateful that I did EPQ, because I enjoyed it so much. Like getting the final marks, getting and understanding the entire topic at the end was just really lovely, and being able to present all of my ideas. It was such a good experience. I'm grateful I had it. But yes, obviously it's going to be difficult. For doing 4 A levels is going to be difficult. So yeah, it will be difficult, but it's definitely worth it.
I think what Bahar said is really important, because each enrichment gives you their own skill set. So with EPQ, bringing like research skills in together, but the skill of time management and organization, like doing your 3 or 4 A levels alongside the enrichment, the time management organization, I think is definitely skills that I found doing my enrichment alongside my 3 A levels was just as important as the skills that the enrichment taught me. And it's different, because I think a lot of other schools don't do an enrichment, but it's definitely just an hour outside your hour or 2, depending if you do EPQ, outside your subjects, where you have something different to put your energy and focus into, and it gives a brilliant skill set alongside your A-level skills that they give you.
Great, thank you very much indeed. And there's a question here, can you do core maths as well as Duke of Edinburgh Gold, Mrs. Ellis?
Well, obviously you can do, but I would say that depends on the individual. DV Gold is a very different sort of enrichment course, and obviously it has certain points at which you're very busy and other points where you perhaps haven't got quite so much to do. Core maths obviously is timetabled, so it will take up time during the course of your day, and there will be home learning, which will be different from DV. So I think it very much depends on the individual. I would certainly suggest come and talk to me. Someone talked to me today at lunchtime. Do come and find me and have a chat about it, because it depends very much on you. And what we do want you to do is we want you to do 3 A levels and an enrichment and do well, but be happy and have a life as well. So what we don't want is you to be overloaded and stressed. So come and talk to me.
Yeah. So Per's managed it extremely well, but it's not for everyone, is what we're saying. We have to be, Per's talked about that. So Per, could you tell us, what did you do your EPQ on? Because there's a question here about what do you do for an EPQ. So tell us the title of your EPQ.
Oh, this is a throwback. To what extent does male-centric medicine affect women's health regarding heart disease and stroke? I'm glad that this put up there. Yeah, so it was kind of looking into like the biological and chemical processes, and so I don't know if anyone's familiar with the case where pregnant women were given thalidomide, the drug, and it had severe side effects, and it was actually shown that males, like the drug had only previously been trialed on males and not females, which is actually quite shocking, and that actually led me to research my whole EPQ on it. But that was just my interest. I would say, like, EPQ, it really is just finding your interest, finding out what you're actually interested in. Because if you don't like the topic, you're just not going to work hard. You're not going to time manage. And it really requires you to love it. So yeah, I'd say love the subject, and you don't have to have already like known about what you want to research. You get like a whole month just finalizing, researching, seeing what you want to do. So don't worry if you don't like anything so far. You will definitely finalize your title and your subject when you get into school.
Great, thanks, Beher. And there's lectures, etc. as well to help with that. And I know Ms. Drysdale will know the answer about submitting the MPQ. When does that happen?
So students complete their EPQ in year 12, that way it's off their desk for year 13, because I think, would you agree, ladies, you've been pretty busy this term, yes, with their applications, so you want to get those out of the way. So you'll be finishing that off and submitting that around spring in year 12.
Yeah, and it's really very popular, as are all the enrichments. Someone's asked, which is the easiest enrichment? Well, there's an easy answer to that. It depends on what you like. So girls, you know, Martha and Evie and Beher have just given you that advice. It is, if you go with something that you're interested in, you always find it much easier. I'm just going to answer a few quick questions here before I hand over to some other colleagues. What sporting opportunities are there for sixth formers? Well, the answer to that is lots. So the whole full range of sports, we have 38 different sports at last counting on offer at Wycombe High School, and sixth formers can participate in all of those as well. So there is genuinely something for everyone. And you'll see some of our sixth formers, you know, part of the netball teams, the hockey teams, the cricket teams, also ultimate frisbee, beach volleyball, shooting, swimming. There is such a range, soccer and diversity, so something for everyone. And we believe in recreational sport as well, so that everyone can keep fit and healthy, because being physically and mentally well go hand in hand. So let me just check a few more of these questions, see where else we go. Are there any subjects that cannot be taken together? We offer a free choice system at Wycombe High School, not a block system that some schools might operate. So you choose whatever A-levels you want to do. And sometimes if someone chooses some very obscure choices, there are occasionally one or two students every year or two that we have to disappoint. But the significant majority, by a country mile, have free choice and can do whatever combinations they want. And through the videos, you've heard of students doing, you know, chemistry with mathematics and drama, or drama and history and politics with mathematics. So it's a mix up of things like the performing and visual arts with STEM subjects, which is lovely. Right. Can you study something at A level if you didn't study it at GCSE? So Ms. Drysdale, would you like to answer that one?
Indeed. So we've got several questions here about entry requirements and the like of particular subjects. And I'm going to refer you to the brochure. I've got it up on my screen just over here for reference. And that has the details of the entry requirements in terms of points, which we do need to stick to. If something's happened and you've got a personal circumstances, what I'd say is do talk to us on results day and the like if something's happened to you that might have impinged on that. And that has a list of the entry requirements by subject as well. And there's a few of those where you don't have to have done the subject at GCSE in order to do it at A level. And that's clearly laid out for each subject there. So hopefully that answers several questions.
Okay, great. Thank you very much indeed. And I'm just looking at application process for external students. Mrs. Ellis, would you like to say something about that?
Yes, so you will find on our website a link to an online application form, which we will need you to complete by the 27th of January. We also ask you to send a letter to us just to tell us a little bit about yourself. So that helps me to look at the applications and so on, and to make sure that the courses you're choosing are the most suitable for you. But also when you do join us, it does allow us to be able to put you in tutor groups and pair you up with buddies and so on who are going to be more like you. So application has to be due in by the 27th of January. We are offering tours for prospective students in November. And again, you can book those online. So that will give you the chance to come in and see at first hand what we have to offer. Obviously, if you have any questions, we do have our own dedicated email address, which is sixth form admissions. You obviously can email us on that as well to ask any questions if you have any about the courses that we have or any aspect of sixth form.
Thank you very much indeed. And there's a question about how many external students to Wycombe High School do we take? And this year we made 37 offers and are looking to build further capacity for next year. Also a question about, do we offer economics A-level? And the answer is yes, we do indeed. Right. Are we expected to do work during freeze? Well, there's a question. I don't
yes.
know the answer. Yes, answered it.
We do. Students will be in school all day, every day. Frees are only the fact that they don't have anything written on their timetable for that particular period of the day. And what we do, that period of time is for independent study. So outside of the classroom, so in lessons, we would then expect students to be doing at least 2 hours of independent study for each hour that they have in the classroom. So they aren't frees, they are independent studies. We do have extensive facilities for students to do work during the school day. And obviously you want to have a bit of time at the weekends to go off and enjoy yourself. So using your time wisely through the school day is an expectation.
Thank you, Mrs. Ellis. And Evie and Behair, is Mrs. Ellis, is that good advice, or is it fine not to work in your study or freeze at sixth form?
I think when I joined year 12, if I'm completely transparent, I kind of looked at all the blanks on my timetable and went, woohoo. And then you realise, as A-level is a big step up, as I'm sure people are prepared to accept, and you realise you want to take advantage of your frees, because like Mrs. Ellis said, your free time is pure bliss at A-level. So you learn to crack down, study area, library, use the spaces that are available to get those extra 2 hours in and do.
So it reduces your own stress. Thank you. So I'm very conscious of time, so we're just going to take some last questions, try and run through these very quickly. PE is at mandatory at sixth form. Recreational sport on a Wednesday afternoon for an hour on a carousel of different activities with choice is something we do, because to stay mentally well, we have to be physically well as well. We do lots of shows and productions in drama and musical theatre as well. So if you do drama, and Evie's nodding, she will know that she does lots of things because she studies it, but we also do drama productions and we also do musical productions. So the performing and visual arts are very important to us indeed. There's a number of questions here still about application processes and letters. I think it's all on wycombehighschool.com, so please do look at that. And in terms of what do we do for overall personality development, confidence, interview prep, we've covered all those university type questions and the extensive support available for UCAS, conservatoires, international universities, etc. But our sixth formers also do something called CASE. So over to our students, very briefly, what is CASE?
CASE is a combination of presentation of who you are as a person. So it stands for creativity, action, service, and employability. So it's basically showcases what you do that's creative, what you do that is in like action, so what you're doing for your community. It's basically a great showcase, like I said, of who you are, and really builds, because it's a reflection on you. Sometimes you forget who you are as a person, so it's a great show of like to yourself and to others what you do to make yourself you.
which is quite nice. And I also think it like builds your personality, like that question was saying, because you have to make sure that you do a certain number of hours in each thing. So you go out and you do volunteering, and that might not be something that you would think about doing in year 12. You know, you're like, oh, I'm just so busy doing A levels, but you want to have something to let go, like just relax, and those types of things are really good. Like I remember doing volunteering in year 12. I found it really, really enjoyable. And yeah, CASE kind of makes you do that because you have to have a set number of hours in it, and you know, it's a really good showcase of who you are as a person,
and really helps then for UCAS and employment as well. So I think we've answered, we don't have a uniform in sixth form. People discover their own style in preparation for the next stage. And sixth formers are allowed to leave the school site at lunchtimes, etc. We used to have something called Flexi Wednesdays, where students could work away on a Wednesday. That ended up being not very productive for most students. So unfortunately, we changed that again with the demands of the new reformed A-levels, so that we could support our students to get the grades that they want to go off to the next stage. So, and I'm just whizzing through the very last questions. And I think we've more or less done them all, unless Miss Drysdale or Mrs. Ellis can spot one that I've missed that we absolutely must answer before we wrap up.
The only thing was what support do we give to students who join us from other schools, and we do extensive work with those students. From the moment we have your application, you become part of our community, and when we make provisional offers for students, we provide regular updates and information to those students in the same way that we do to our year 11 students. So we really make sure we keep in touch with those students, we keep them up to date, so that transition can really be as smooth as possible. And we do a comprehensive induction program at the beginning of the year, and really offer them every opportunity to come in and to feel part of the Wycombe High School family.
Okay, thank you all very much indeed. And a final question, do you have to take maths to take physics? Yes, you do, because decades and decades of experience demonstrates that does the best outcomes and less stress all round for students. Thank you so much for joining us for this snapshot of reasons why Wycombe High sixth form. We hope you enjoy watching all of the videos that are on wycombehighschool.com that give you a flavour of every subject. We will be putting a recording of this session onto our website tomorrow, so that you can watch it back or refer it to friends and family. And there's also an A to Z of all the subjects on our website as well. Huge thanks to Evie for presenting and for being trained so well by Rachel Burden. I was very envious of that. Peher, thank you so much indeed. It's brought it to life to hear what your student experience is. And to my colleagues, Miss Drysdale and Mrs. Ellis, thank you so much. And don't be afraid to contact us at any time with any questions. Thank you. Good evening.